Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. And I got a story that you probably haven't seen anywhere else, considering it's a local story here to Waco, Texas. Come out this morning. It's about a barbecue place here in town. I can be honest with you, I don't know where it's at. I've never been to it. I've never seen it. But I will, after seeing the story today, when they do open back up, we'll be going to dine with them, knowing that they are such avid Trump supporters. If you watch the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is like a mom and pop business. Matter of fact, it's called Mama and Papa B's Barbecue here in Waco, Texas. They're standing on what they believe in, and they're standing up like us, like a lot of us American citizens, behind our America First policies, behind Trump, behind even this big beautiful bill. Not everybody's for the bill. Not all the Republicans are for the bill. I'm for the bill because it's absolutely necessary, but I'm not for the bill the way it's going down right now, where everybody's doing the holdout, play the game to get the bribe, to get what they want, and the price of the bill just keeps going up and up and up to try to appease everybody. That is not the way this should be going down, and that's exactly what's going on. They're passing it back and forth in the House and the Senate. It looks like right now we have about 10 holdouts, but we'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. Let's go ahead and jump into what's going on in Waco, Texas with an avid Trump supporter. I just thought this was a very cool story. I seen it when I got up this morning about 5 a.m. and just thought it was definitely worth sharing with y'all.
I'm Dominique Lay, your neighborhood reporter in Waco. I'm at local favorites Mama and Papa B's Barbecue. And if you're looking for a good meal, you're out of luck, because now the fate of this business lies in the hands of DC lawmakers.
If it's a loss, we'll take that loss, because the community has been so good to us as a family that we feel we deserve it. We owe it to the community to give back, and this is the way that we're doing it.
Bill Collins and his family have owned Mama and Papa B's Barbecue in downtown Waco for 40 years. But to show their support for our president, they're closing their doors until the big beautiful bill gets passed.
We're doing it as a form of protest, because we believe that following Trump, who is our president, although we don't agree with everything that he may say or do, but we feel that in this particular instance, it is very important that we show unity.
The bill includes several new policies ranging from tax cuts to immigration enforcement. But Collins tells me his solidarity isn't about policy. He says it's about standing up for what the bill can do.
American people need to come together, put aside their political differences, and come together in unity and show the world, the United Nations are looking at what we're doing.
Some people might say, oh, well, why is he closing his restaurant? This is only going to hurt him. What would you say to them?
Well, see, that's the whole point. If it was going to hurt me, I wouldn't close down.
Collins isn't concerned about how long it could take for the bill to pass. Instead, he believes the temporary closure is a statement designed to bring unity to our community and the country.
Did y'all catch that? He sells Trump merchandise.
All going to have to sacrifice something in order to pass this big, beautiful bill, first of all. But we're going to have to realize that and be willing to give up our part.
The Senate passed that bill Tuesday morning. Now it's up to the House. President Donald Trump is expecting to see that bill on his desk by the end of the week.
Alrighty, folks, that's what I got for a local story for you. I'll keep you apprised of what happens. I am going to find that place that looked like it was off 500 South 8th Street. I can find that downtown Waco. I'm not far from where I travel around feeding the homeless people. I just never, I guess, seen the place. Waco's bigger than it looks, I guess. But at any rate, it's talking about this big, beautiful bill. We've got people that are holding out. We got Elon Musk still complaining at the top of his lungs. We got Stephen Miller putting Elon Musk in his place. It's been a crazy week, but it's also been a victorious week for Trump. He has gotten more wins this week than we can count. And if we get this one over the finish line, we got it, folks. And I know the big, beautiful bill is expensive. That's what makes it not so beautiful. And I knew it was going to be expensive. And there's a lot of pork in there as well, or for the course. They're not going to stop that. There's some things in there that I definitely don't agree with. A couple of things that are just sticking points in my craw, but I'm not the one actually having to vote on it, so I'll just stay out of that. But the immigration thing, keeping 1.4 million illegals on Medicaid and Medicare, that seems like a load of crap. There's several things like that in there. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of reading. It says 10 House Republicans are standing in the way of President Trump's historic Big Beautiful Bill, a legislative masterpiece that delivers the largest tax cuts, deepest spending reductions, and the toughest immigration crackdown in American history. The House of Representatives voted 213 to 212 on the second procedural vote. They were doing a vote-a-rama. And let's see here. Yep. It says, according to a leaked memo obtained by CNN of all outlets, members of the House Freedom Caucus have decided to go rogue, opposing the Senate's version of the bill over issues like energy tax credits, that's allowing the Green New Scam to continue, and the Medicaid reforms, which involves continuing to putting the illegals allowed to be on Medicaid and Medicare back in the bill, which that's what the Senate did. That was their slide in. Everybody wants something, folks. It says the Senate bill continues taxpayer-funded transgender surgery for adults and minors. And let's just listen to this guy. He'll tell you.
Joining us right now is Maryland Congressman Andy Harris. He is the chair of the House Freedom Caucus. Good morning to you. Where are we here? Tell me how many friends and colleagues do you have on your side at this point, and how you think this is all going to go down, because we are getting, as you know, down to the wire here.
Well, we're down to an artificial deadline wire, no question about that. The bottom line is we could take another week to get this thing right. The Senate bill moved way far away from the House bill, added about $750 billion to an already large federal deficit and debt. You know, it did things like it stripped away the blocking funding for transgender surgery from minors. It stripped away, you know, effectively stopping illegal aliens from getting Medicaid. It scaled back the Green New Scam provisions from the House bill. We should take the time to get this right. I think there are enough people who say, you know, the House took a position, the Senate took a position. Now it's time to get somewhere between those two positions and send something to the president's desk.
Okay, so how realistic, though, given what you know about, as I say, your friends and colleagues who are on your side versus not, that are willing to effectively tell the president, no mas, we're not doing it this week, you're going to have to wait?
Well, the president's already indicated this may slip by a few days. I think, again, our goal is to get this done by the middle of next week. I think it's easily done to get a compromise version between the two chambers, and I think that's important for the American people. Again, you know, adding $750 billion to an already large...
What happened was the House passed a pretty decent bill. There was some pork in it, but a pretty decent bill. And then it goes over to the Senate, and they pull out a lot of crap. They pull the crap out of there that we don't want. We don't want to have to pay for illegal aliens on Medicaid and Medicare. So of course that was in there. They pulled that out. A couple provisions the Democrats, and I'm guessing the Republicans. In theory, the Republicans, not the Democrats, are not really. They're all no votes at this point. But they're trying to rehash the thing, and they're saying it's too expensive. But they keep jacking up the price. All these pullouts and add twos and pullouts and add twos, the price never seems to go down one drop. So what they're all trying to do is get their own, these partisan hacks are trying to get their own severance package, their own little pet projects pushed through their agenda. I was reading a couple of different people, a couple of different ones of the House 10 that are holding out are just, they're holding out for stupid reasons. And here are the 10. And I do like some of these people. Andy Biggs, Lauren Boebert, Andrew Clyde, Neil Dunn, Andy Harris, Dan Mauser, Andy Ogle, Scott Perry, Chip Roy, and Thomas Massey. Those are the 10 holdouts at this point. And all they're asking is it goes back to the original way that they had designed it in the House. They don't want it to be butchered up like this and throwing all this other stuff in it. But I guess Trump is going to have to go talk to these people. They're going to have to figure something out. At the moment, we're in hold. Maybe the House and the Senate can come together and decide what you're willing to give and take for. Hopefully, we can get this idiotic stuff out of there and get some more cuts out of it because it's way too expensive. Bottom line, it's going to have to pass one way or another, but it's still way too expensive. Bunch of greedy people in there, it shows. It says, meanwhile, in Tennessee, Tim Burchett, one of the key GOP holdouts, told CNN he's now leaning towards a yes vote on President Trump's domestic agenda bill after meeting with President Trump earlier today. It puts me a little closer. We're going to meet a little bit and go over everything and make sure we got all our facts straight, Burchett said. The president was very informative. House Republicans are stalling for time on the floor as President Trump and his team furiously work to get the group right-wing holdouts in line beside his agenda bill. I wouldn't call them right-wing holdouts. I would just call them people that had a difference of opinion about the enormous size of the bill. A large number of the GOP hardliners have threatened to block Trump's agenda from coming to the floor on a forthcoming procedural vote, which would be a major embarrassment to the president, meaning it would pull up there or basically they would cock-block him on it. But there could soon be some momentum. Some of those members said they would be in a productive meeting at the White House that has put them closer to a yes through they are still ironing out the details. Meaning that all the ones that are holding out for a yes, or at least most of them are holding out on that yes, because they want something. That's what we're getting down to. For example, Andrew Clyde says, I just introduced an amendment to the Senate bill, to the Senate passed budget reconciliation bill, to remove the NFA registration requirement to suppressors for these type guns, SBR, SBS, and AOW. I'm fighting to the very end to get as many Second Amendment wins in the big beautiful bill as possible. One big beautiful bill as possible. So he is holding out, seeing if he could pull out some of this NFA registration stuff, which probably limits gun parts, suppressors, different things that he's fighting for his NRA sponsors and for Second Amendment rights. Maybe that's his bag. Maybe it's just probably for the NRA, which is probably one of the lobbyists that owe him a bone. Just guessing. But see, he's not a no. He's a yes later. And Lauren Boebert, she says one thing in the bill that actually blows her up. She says the termination for wind and solar facilities, this amendment made by subsection A shall apply to facilities, the construction of which begins after the date, which is 12 months after the date of enacted of this act. Meaning that they've got one whole year before they've even got to consider doing anything about it when it comes to putting one of these amendments in play as far as the whole solar and wind and the green new scam. It's part of the whole money dish out process. I think my internet signal just quit on me. I hope not, folks. We're fixing to find out. Yes, folks, it is really messed up. These folks are greedy. Most of them want something. Now, Andy Ogle says, I don't work for the Senate parliamentarian. I work for the people. That's why we just filed an amendment to delete their dud and replace it with a strong House bill we passed weeks ago. So now they're going to try to squish the Senate's bill and go back to the drawing board with the House's original bill, send it back to the Senate, saying this one ain't going to work. We'll see how that goes down. I don't know. We're still in the squishy zone. It is to be continued with that story, so it is what it is. But there's a couple of crazy things going on in the news today, including a bombshell that reveals that the FBI was covering up for Christopher Wray and several of the top people over there that were working to collude against Trump in every way possible. From the weaponization to hiding the Hunter Biden story to trying to get Trump. So many things. to the 2020 election, cover up, so many things. I mean, the FBI is dirty all over. Well, as of today, there's a CIA report that is coming out, and I'll tell you about that after we let Stephen Miller tell us about what he thinks about Elon Musk's opinion. It says just in, Stephen Miller fires back at Elon Musk for vowing to primary challenge anybody who votes for the big beautiful bill. They are not going to listen to an outside voice that does not represent the American people, he says. He's saying Elon may be rich, but he doesn't hold that much power.
Campaign for fiscal restraint, yet voted for the big beautiful bill. He is furious for a lot of reasons, but mostly citing the failure to rein in costs and spending. Your reaction to this tonight?
Well, this is the largest spending cut, Laura, in American history. Think about what's in this bill. The largest tax cut and reform in American history. The largest spending cut in American history. The largest welfare reform in American history. The largest reduction in federal spending ever achieved in a single bill, and then it also includes the most robust, comprehensive border security and immigration enforcement package we've ever seen. One that will allow us to deport millions upon millions of invaders. To oppose this bill is to support the invasion. To oppose this bill is to support the continued giveaways and freebies to cheaters and scam artists. To oppose this bill is to support a 68% tax hike on the American public, and is also to oppose this bill is to support a deprivation of all of the tax benefits that President Trump is fighting to deliver the middle class, like no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. The Senate passed this bill just today, demonstrating that they are fighting for President Trump. They are fighting for his agenda. They are not going to listen to an outside voice that does not represent the interests of the American people or the interests of the Republican Party. And the House is going to rally behind President Trump to pass this bill for America.
I agree. I like Elon Musk, and I think he's right about the spending, but he's not the boss. Trump's the boss right now. He's just going to have to get over that. Well, I guess we are winning, folks. Waffle House, which is a very well-known staple here in Texas, is got wonderful food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can go there at 3 in the morning and get some hash browns scattered, smothered, covered, and chopped. Quite delicious. I recommend it to everybody. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it to everybody at least once. And their ham and eggs is not too bad either. But at any rate, Waffle House had to charge a 50-cent per egg surcharge during the whole egg fiasco during the Biden administration, where eggs were, what, $6 a carton? $6 for a dozen, $5 for a dozen? Well, now eggs are almost back down to normal. And so it's official. Waffle House has dropped their egg surcharge. So obviously the economy's getting better. Waffle House proved it right there, folks. Excuse me. Thought that was a bit of good news. It says Ratcliff declassified. I'm talking about John Ratcliff. Declassifies the CIA documents, reveals that Comey, Brennan, Clapper purposely corrupted Trump-Russia investigation. So the CIA chief just investigated the FBI's former chiefs over there. I'm talking about, there's about 51 of them, as a matter of fact. 51 people that signed those documents. It says Brennan, Clapper, Comey, several more corrupted Trump-Russia investigation, and included discredited Steele dossier to take down Trump, despite knowing it was a phony report. Yeah, they lied, and they knew they lied. Oh, yeah. They thought there was evidence. They didn't have no evidence. They were just like Adam Schiff coming on TV every day on CNN. Yep, we got some evidence somewhere. We can't talk about it, but Trump's guilty of something. CIA Director John Ratcliffe announced on Wednesday that the new CIA report reveals that former Director James Comey, CIA Director John Brennan, and DNI Secretary DNI James Clapper worked together to purposefully corrupt the Trump-Russia investigation in 2016 before Trump entered office. The three corrupt Obama officials even included the Steele dossier in their quest to screw Trump, knowing this at the time that the Steele dossier was complete rubbish. For the next 3 years, the Democrats and the deep state operatives used these documents in their attempt to impeach Trump and run a coup at the White House. John Ratcliff posted about this earlier today on X, and it went pretty viral. No doubt about it, folks. Obama is now implicated. It's all Obama's people. That's the footnote they're not telling you here, but it says the CIA has published a document in investigation due to an investigation on June 26th. They dropped the doc. It's their assessment of the 2016 Community Assessment on Russian Election Interference. Never happened. It says the review identified multiple procedural anomalies that undermine the credibility of the ICA, including a highly compromised production line, time stringent decompartmentation, and excessive involvement in agency heads. It also questioned the inclusion of key intelligence agencies and said media leaks may have influenced analysts to conform to a false narrative of Trump-Russia collusion. Of course, they were pushing the papers, pushing the media to go a certain way with the story. The rush timeline of the published both classified and unclassified version before the presidential transition raised questions about the potential political motive. Of course, it was politically motivated behind the White House tasking of the timeline. The review found that Brennan directed the compilation of the ICA and that his Comey and Clapper directed engagements in the development in this ICA's development was highly unusual in both scope and intensity, at risk stifling analytical debate. Yeah, they tried to censor the public, is what they did. They tried to shut down Twitter and YouTube. They threatened them all and told them, y'all better spill our narrative only, censor anybody who's talking about X, Y, and Z. It says investigative reporter Paul Sperry reported back in February that John Ratcliff was already talking about how the factual evidence did not support John Brennan's explosive Russia-Trump assessment. Yep, calling them out as liars. Now let's put their ass in jail. Let's get them on a criminal referral. We can do it. You can do it. Easy enough right there. CIA is investigating the FBI's crooked people, and even some of their own former CIA chiefs that were crooked, like Brennan. They say Hillary Clinton may finally face prison. I really doubt that. Trump orders a full declassification. President Trump has just ordered the immediate release of all FBI files related to Crossfire Hurricane, the infamous Russia collusion investigation. This means that John Durham's report confirms in August 2016 the CIA Director John Brennan briefed Obama and Biden on Clinton's plan to falsify, link Trump to Russia. They knew, they approved, they watched it unfold. Hillary Clinton's campaign engineered the biggest political hoax in American history with Perkins Coie, and I'm sure Obama and Biden, and they used what they call that, the FISA warrant, to try to spy on Trump and all his people, even before he got in office. It says the weaponization of intelligence agencies, the corruption of the FBI and the DOJ, a conspiracy to undermine a sitting U.S. president, now exposed in black and white. It is now official. Our government was working against Trump. It's nuts, folks. Which we knew it. Anybody that was watching, anybody that was paying attention, we seen it.
Next, sir, we have a presidential memorandum for your attention. This memorandum requires the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. This was obviously one of the instances of the weaponization of law enforcement powers of prosecution against you and others. We believe that it's long past time for the American people to have a full and complete understanding of what exactly is in those files.
Which gives the media the right to go in and check it. You probably won't bother because you're not going to like what you see. But this was total weaponization. It's a disgrace. Should never happen in this country. But now you'll be able to see for yourselves, all declassified. Is that correct? Would you say? All declassified?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
The FBI file with there's a classified annex, but other than that, this we'll put everything in the public eye.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to look? Huh? What about you? You going to look? And frankly, the FBI should be ashamed of themselves, and so should the Department of Justice, and so should Biden. Okay.
All right, folks. Well, one good thing is we can say about all this, even though we got all these great wins and everything, when we have our good days and our bad days and our slow rulings or our screwed up judgments by these wacko judges, or something just doesn't go as planned, like this big beautiful bill, we've still got things to be thankful for on our worst of days. We're no longer living under the Biden regime. We're no longer living under pandemic restrictions. We're no longer having to listen to ladies like this explain about tennis ball etiquette when it comes to the 6-foot rule.
Every player, unless they're from the same household, has to bring their own tennis balls so that you don't touch other people's tennis balls with your hands. You can kick their balls, but you can't touch them. I'm going to blush, sorry. Of course, if you're playing with someone in your household, you can touch those tennis balls. To avoid confusion between whose balls are whose, you can use a marker, like a Sharpie, to mark out, to put an X or put someone's initials on. Every player...
Oh, I'm so glad the pandemic bullshit's over. Now, this is a little weird, a little shocking, and a little profane, and I can't believe somebody was this stupid when I seen it, but I want to show it to y'all anyway. Last video of the day, if you stuck it out this long, you may be offended, but this is how stupid people are, living rent-free in their heads. Trump is. This is Trump derangement syndrome, as bad as I've ever seen it. Now, my guess is this is not a man, because he'd have it up on his shoulders. It's not a woman. She'd have her tattoo down here around the tramp stamp. I'm guessing this is one of these transmission people, one of these transitioners, or whatever you call them. I'm guessing right in the middle of their back. You see this crap, folks? Let me just scroll down for you. Alright, let me just show you if you can't see this whole thing. Y'all can see it. That's disgusting, right? Who would do that to their body? If you hated Trump so much to put that on your back, why would you put his name on you? I don't get it. If I hate somebody or something, I'm not going to tattoo it on my arm. It just makes no sense, folks. This must be another one of these Antifa transitioners or something of that matter. Let me know what you think in the comment, folks, about how much crazy. Let me know in the comment, folks, have you seen crazier things than this today? Alright, like, subscribe, and share. Devoted Patriots. Everybody have a great day. Don't be one of these people. Over now.